Hello and welcome back to the year 1993, where it's too hot to go outside without a t-shirt, but too cold to go outside without a hat on. Now that you're sufficiently confused, it's time to point this confusion towards a healthy source, and that's confusing pop music. The music industry appears to have a brand new genre, and I'll break it down in a moment. But alas, I can only term it in a family-friendly genre coined as down bad pop. For lack of a better explanation, it just seems strange to dance around such innuendous topics while marketing it to people while shopping at a grocery store. Is there anything truly more grand than hearing a muffled version of a catchy pop song about 20 feet above your head while you try to decide which brand of pickles has the most crunch? Well, I didn't think so. The main character of this crusade against the absolute modesty of our 2025 musical pop culture is none other than the white Disney Channel girl, Sabrina Carpenter. Before you start hating and bring up stuff like, oh, you're just jealous of her, and you wish you could bag a girl like her, I have to say, honestly, you right. And that's why I picked her for this video. I have 3 songs of hers in specific that I want to focus on for the pure absurdity, and specifically because I heard all of these while shopping at Walmart. The first song is Espresso. You've heard it, I've heard it. And man, this song is utterly questionable. And I would like to thank Genius for helping me understand the poetic nuance and similes that would go over my head if I didn't have the helpful work of the internet to guide me. I really think Switch It Up Like Nintendo would have flown completely past me if not for these annotations, so we will keep them handy going forwards. Another beautiful line in the chorus is, move it up, down, left, right. Oh. I really wonder what she could have meant from such a line. Surely it's not a reference or an innuendo in any way. You know, this is a popular song and it's marketed to the masses. That just couldn't be possible. We gotta keep it wholesome and, PG-13. But I'm fairly certain if she were to input these controls or inputs into Counter-Strike, there would be a swift and comprehensive team kick for trolling. Or being a Roman. According to my analysis, it does seem like this is in fact not gaming advice. So I guess we must move on to appease the YouTube algorithm and maintain marketability in the odd chance that an advertisement should maybe appear at some point. I love how even in the first verse, she is humble bragging about being able to seduce a man. But I mean, even a non-millionaire pop star could probably do that, so she really shouldn't be feeling so high and mighty about being able to achieve such a low bar for entry. So, Sabrina, don't feel so high and mighty. Maybe she is simply inversing the function of down bad pop, and she's flipping on its head. Fourth dimensional type of actions are clearly at play here. Our next line, brought to you by the genius singer-songwriter Sabrina Carpenter, is, yes, I know I Mountain Dew it for you. As the breakdown says, Mountain Dew is a popular soda brand that's known for having caffeine, so it ties back to the main event here, so we don't get sidetracked. Espresso has caffeine, Mountain Dew has caffeine. That's cohesive, that's songwriting, it's genius. It's also a play on words. In case you didn't know, Mountain Dew it for you, because dew, like from the water, and do as in you're gonna do it. Those are both homophones. They sound the same. That could also be the wrong word for it. But they sound the same. So it's some very clever wordplay coming in here, and I don't think it's appreciated enough in our modern culture. I think we tend to appreciate artists after they've moved on, or after they've retired, or, have discontinued doing music. But I really think that we should appreciate them in their moment for such clever lines and wordplay as this. I think it's truly impactful and moving what you can achieve through simple language sometimes. So that's a special shout out to the lyric and songwriting of the video. Nothing else yet, That'll get us due later. Also, my favorite thing about this website is if you suggest an improvement, you can actually earn IQ points by doing this. I didn't really think it was possible to do that outside of intense studying and acclimating to an IQ test, but I guess if you just do enough research on double entendres or hidden meanings behind an artist's work or lyrics, it can actually go up that way instead. So that's really good to keep in mind if you're struggling on your next math test. Instead of actually doing more math, I think you should instead focus on reviewing lyrics on Genius.com. Time well spent. So now we're moving on to the next two songs because we have to keep this video short and concise as to keep the attention spans in check. So the next two songs are actually going to be covered as one song, and that is Taste and Bed Chem. First of all, she starts off Taste with numerical integrations and mathematics. So continuing on from the trend of the last song, it's clearly not just throwaway lyrics. You know, she states her height at the beginning, and if she ever does a house tour, you can then use her height as a baseline for how tall her doors and her ceiling really are. So that's really helpful if you're planning a heist, but outside of that, I don't really see the importance of knowing such a detail, that she's 5 foot even. I guess that means she also couldn't really guard someone very well in basketball if she went to the NBA, but so maybe it was a good decision. So props to her for that. With that being said, this video quickly falls into slight degeneracy, where she wants to two-time what I guess would be a now morally dubious man. I'm not here to judge her for that. I'm just asking questions about the logistics. With all the high talk from the last song about her, you know, getting this man infatuated with her, I would kind of expect her to go for like a world record in this kind of competition. Instead of 2-timing, maybe 10-timing, to 10 to the 10 timing, to 10 to the 10 to the 10 timing, to the 10 to the 10 to the... You get it. Is it really a brag if she's only getting one guy to cheat on their spouse with her? Like, come on, you set the standards high, Sabrina. Live up to them. That's mostly about Taste, though. Now, we move on to Bed Chem. And you know what that means? It means it's time for a little bit of a mini rant. This song deserves its dues. It's insanely catchy and well produced, like most of her songs are, honestly. No hate to the producers or songwriters, or even to Sabrina herself, really. The songs are very good at becoming earworms and staying in your head, but this is where it gets slightly complicated and convoluted. Her music is inherently pop music, and it was designed to be listened to on a massive scale, with her being marketed as the driving force behind the product. In this case, a tour and an album. So I guess it makes logical sense that many of the songs that she sings about tend to kind of put her up on this pedestal of, you know, a fantasy for the male gaze, or, you know, putting in her position to be idolized by other women, you know, her being very cutesy and very, you know, likable, relatable even, I would say, especially with a lot of the topics that she covers. So it's easy for people to fantasize about that side of her, or being like her or similar to her. Her label does a great job of marketing that brand of lifestyle to people who would also listen to her music, which is why she's become such a big musical influence right now and has a very like large presence, to say the least. But that being said, is it not just like a little bit strange that her songs are innately filled with down bad content? I mean, Bed Chem is literally just like, it's just smut that rhymes, for lack of a better way to put it. And it's like the strangest kind of topic that I've ever heard while shopping at Walmart. So it wins an award for being the most uncomfortable that you could possibly be while listening to a song while also browsing for produce in a grocery store, which is an award that I didn't think needed to be handed out. But now that I see, I just ended the competition a little bit too soon. But I must say, I need some of that marketing team, because I have a difficult time believing that many other people could pull off having a song like that on repeat out in public. I feel like these things usually stick to down bad websites or private browsing sessions, rather than making it out the basement. Yeah, I just find it strange that this song is literally everywhere, considering its content seems to be a little bit more niche than maybe a lot of other pop songs. Like Michael Jackson, his stuff is pretty neutral. Dua Lipa, a lot of her stuff's pretty neutral. Left foot, right foot levitating. That's very PG friendly, and unless he means that he's on it, in which case I don't really think that that's the best message to be sending. But you know what? It gets a 2 thumbs up for me, so that's all that really matters. Because I'm a professional musician listener. which means that my opinion is in fact and can't be dismissed because I actually know what I'm not talking about. If you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to help out a small channel. Trying out a new format for this one to see if this helps increase viewer retention. So if that is the case, congratulations. There will be more of this if this works. If not, then I'll be trying something else out. But yeah, thanks you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video that'll probably be a different style and format than this one. Who wrote this? Why is this? Who wrote this? Who thought this was a good idea? Did you think it was a good idea? It was definitely not a good idea. So why did you write it?